Good morning and welcome to the latest edition of The Road to Recovery. In today's episode, we'll continue to update the Snowy Monaro community on how bushfire recovery is progressing here in our region. We'll catch up shortly with Pauline Cook, the manager of the Monaro Family Support Service, and learn how the organisation is putting to use a $20,000 bushfire recovery grant to help children right throughout the region. We'll also catch up with Pauline to learn more about the wonderful work the organisation is doing to help families and children right throughout the Snowy Monaro recover from the summer bushfires. We'll also inform you about a delivery of a Minderoo pod near Tantawangalo and provide some important contact details to help you or someone you know who may be struggling with their mental health and their well-being. So plenty to get through on today's episode of The Road to Recovery. Joining us today on The Road to Recovery is Pauline Cook, manager of the Monaro Family Support Service. And Pauline, thank you for your time today.
Thank you, Nathan.
Pauline, could we start with a bit of an overview on the great work the Monaro Family Support Service is doing in the bushfire recovery space?
I guess right from the beginning of the fires, Monaro Family Support has considered the recovery of our community to be core business. We have been around for over 40 years in the Monaro, and we work with children, youth and families to support them to deal with whatever challenges they are experiencing. So obviously in 2020, the widespread impact of the fires, of drought, and of dealing with COVID has meant that many people, if not all in our community, have had challenges of one kind or another to face. So Monaro Family Support is able to really work flexibly and respond to whatever those needs are, and to ensure that all of the children and young people in our community are given every possible chance to develop healthily and to thrive, and to support the parents to do that. Yeah, right from the beginning, we've had a kind of a suite of different ways in which we've been prepared to support Snowy Monaro families. Sometime into 2020, we also received some specific funding from Resilience New South Wales to deliver the recovery support service for Snowy Monaro, and that is a personalised, holistic case management service that's able to walk alongside individuals and families who have been affected by fire to meet any of their needs that they have, whether that be applying for grants or some mental health support, rebuilding property or infrastructure that may have been damaged, and really just providing that wraparound support for as long as they need.
And Pauline, this week we've seen some art therapy workshops start run in schools throughout the Snowy Monaro. Could you tell us about these workshops and what the Monaro Family Support Service is hoping to achieve with them?
That's right. We have seen that for many children, they struggle to find ways to articulate the feelings that they have in relation to their experience of the bushfires. And we also believe that pretty much all children, no matter where they live in Snowy Monaro, had an experience of the bushfires, and every experience counts. So what we wanted to do was to provide a safe and carefully designed space for children to express their emotions relating to the fires. And so we have designed a workshop which we're rolling out in all Snowy Monaro schools, particularly primary schools, called Rising from the Ashes. And this is a workshop using art therapy. So basically children are encouraged to explore different ways to express and share their own stories, their own narrative, their own experiences of the fires of 1920 through art and also using a couple of other tools like music and sound and movement. And really, that expression then hopefully provides a space for the children to process and heal those emotions. And we think that now's a good time to be delivering that workshop in the schools, because we know and we are aware that the next bushfire season is ahead of us, and that it's really important to arm our children with some tools to manage their emotions around their previous experience, so that they're better equipped in the future. So art therapy is a practice that works really well with kids to express their emotions.
Are the workshops, Pauline, being rolled out right throughout the region?
Yeah, that's right. We have offered them to all of the Snowy Monaro schools, and we're particularly keen and have offered them to the small schools and our remote schools. So right across the region, from Durango to Delegate to Adaminaby, we're delivering that as widely as we possibly can. It's also part of a package of recovery workshops that we have offered to the schools. There's this Rising from the Ashes and the art workshop is for all children, and we also have a second program which is called Stormbirds, and that's actually a program that's designed by a body called Good Grief, and it's a program addressing grief and loss and trauma. And that's a slightly more intensive program, so that runs over 4 weeks, 4 sessions, and we may not be able to deliver that particular program to every single child in Snowy Monaro because it's a slightly more intensive small group program. But the aim is that the Rising from the Ashes will be offered as widely as possible, and that might help us to identify those children who might need that little bit more, in which case we will run the Stormbirds program also in the schools.
Pauline, thank you very much for your time on today's episode of The Road to Recovery, and for providing us with a fantastic overview of the wonderful work that the Monaro Family Support Service is doing here in the Snowy Monaro.
Thank you very much, Nathan. And we're really excited about all the programs that we're currently rolling out. A lot of them are in partnership with council, and there's more to come in that space as well. So looking forward to that.
The first of 2 Monaro pods has arrived in the Snowy Monaro region, with the temporary housing solution delivered to a property near Cathcart last Friday. Tantawangalo resident John Rock lost his home and all buildings on the property when the summer bushfires hit. In the months since, John has been living in a caravan as he works towards rebuilding his home. The Monaro pod was delivered through the assistance of the Bushfire Recovery Team, the New South Wales Government and the Monaro Foundation. The pod provides John with a 2,000 litre water tank, a generator, kitchen facilities and a bathroom. On Friday, Mayor Peter Beer joined the member for Monaro John Barilaro and members of the Bushfire Recovery Team to present John with the Monaro pod and to see how he's going. Thursday, the 10th of September, is Are You OK Day. The National Call to Action Day is encouraging people to ask, listen, encourage action, and check in with your friends and family. If you are struggling from the summer bushfires, then help is available. Lifeline is operating a dedicated bushfire recovery support service. You can contact the Lifeline bushfire recovery number on 13 43 57. That's 13 43 57. If at any stage you would like to contact the Bushfire Recovery Team, you can do so by contacting Council on 1300 345 345. That's 1300 345 345. Thank you for your company on today's episode of The Road to Recovery. We'll be back at the same time, same place next week. But for now, take care.